Hey, what's up, everybody? We're back. We're back with we're once we're athletes. We're back with the NBA edition, kicking off this season. I got my co-host Marcus. What's going on with you, Marcus?
It was good, y'all.
Man, it's been a week. There's been a few signings that happened over the last couple days. I remember we touched base a little bit on the Warriors last week, and in the Jonathan Kuminga situation, I do feel like one of the biggest moves this week or last couple of days was the Al Horford signing with the Warriors. I think that's going to help them definitely some size down low. I know age is a factor, but I thought that was a pretty good pickup. How you feel about that?
I'm kind of iffy on the Al Horford signing. Honestly, Al does provide more spacing and more size, and size that the Warriors lacked. But also, like you mentioned, Al is older in age, and the Warriors are already older in age as is, especially like their starting group. Uh, and I feel like it'll be easy to put a beat out on them, to like make them run, make them keep up with you, especially for a younger team in the conference, like say a OKC or a Houston outside of like Kevin Durant.
Mm, I agree. I agree with that. No, I totally agree with that. Um, and before we keep going, Marcus, I got to let the viewers know, we are on all platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, um, Facebook, Instagram. We're over. Please like, subscribe, share our content. We're new to this, but we starting. You got to start somewhere, and we appreciate everybody's support. Any feedback, any love, hey, just let us know in the comments. And man, we hope you guys enjoy the show. So, man, as I keep going, man, I do agree with you, though, man. I am, it is an iffy, but they needed the size down there. So I'm glad they got a little size down there, along with it kind of fits their playing style, being a big that can step outside and shoot a little bit. So it will be exciting to see how that transpires, as well as I did see that they're signing uh, Gary Payton Jr. back, and as well as Melton. I think that's bringing him back. I know last year before he tore his ACL, he was playing big minutes for them. I think that he was a big key distributor, being a two-way guard on the team. I thought when he went down, that kind of hurt them a little bit. So I'll be excited to see how that goes. I know the Warriors weren't able to make a lot of moves in the offseason, but it'd be nice once they get that team put together slash see kind of how that goes with the Kaminga, because once if one person is not on board, man, that can transpire down to everybody else. So yeah, and we don't want Draymond getting a dose of that. All right, man. So, hey, man, we gonna kick it off, man. I think, when that schedule came out, some good key matchups coming out that first week. I think the first game that started off, they got to give the champs due, that ring ceremony, OKC against the Rockets. Man, a couple months ago when I seen I didn't see the schedule, but I did hear that this was rumors that would be the first game for the OKC, and I thought that was funny because of Kevin Durant. I'm like, whoa, all them years, the runs OKC had came up short, and then the first game on their ring ceremony, KD in town. I think that's funny and petty all at the same time, man. So that matchup's gonna be, I know it's gonna be good. Without Fred Van Fleet, we talked a little bit about that last week. That's a big loss for the Rockets. But you did mention, you thought they'd be, they had some players that could, step in and kind of fill that hole for them. And they're definitely going to need it. They're going to need that shooting. But man, that week one matchup, man, starting off OKC and the Rockets, man. What's the expectation, man? What you got the game looking like?
Uh, I feel like this game might be a lower scoring game, more of a
Mm,
defensive, a grinded out defensive battle. Obviously, I'll still give the edge to OKC as the defending champions. I do think OKC has a bit higher power of an offense.
right.
I feel like Shea and that group have meshed together well, and even in a defensive battle with another team like Houston, who will provide some problems based on their size and athleticism on the perimeter. I think the missing Fred Van Vliet will go a long way because that's an additional scorer or shot maker in addition to Kevin Durant.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I think tweak they should do is go ahead and put Iman Thompson at the one. I think if they could put him at the one, size, defense, somebody that can also guard Shea. I think that's going to be a key matchup for them at that spot for Thompson, as well as being a 6'7" guard going downhill, bringing the ball up, or out on the break. I think that'll get them quick, easy points for OKC. I think they'll be. I mean, not OKC, the Rockets. I think the Rockets will be able to play a little faster with Thompson at the one. So I think so too. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. I think it'll be rust. Just getting the kinks out. First game, filling each other out. I definitely agree with you. It's at OKC. I got OKC winning it for sure, but it will be a good game. Any particular players, man, that you're just keeping an eye out on, or you think that'll make the difference as far as a win or loss or a win on this game? Is there a player on the Rockets that you're like, hey, if he can, if he can make that one little tweak, they can pull this upset out, or is it a wrap?
I think I'm watching Sengun in his matchup with Chet and Isaiah Hardenstein. If Sengun can have a good game, he can force the defense to collapse, thus making easy opportunities on the perimeter for Kevin Durant to get a one dribble pull up into a mid range jumper, or even get some wide open threes. I feel like how he plays in his matchup will determine if OKC decides to collapse on him and make him force the ball out, or if they just let everybody play one-on-one because he's not having a good game.
Man, I totally agree with that. And we mentioned last week, throw it down there on that block, and let's get back to make them double team you, make you come down there, because you were forced down there. I agree with you on that. And I seen in the summertime, in that FIBA, that's how he was really playing. Like, he was getting it and just going, man, and putting that body on you a little bit. So I do agree. If he can make them collapse and have KD and your Jabari Smiths and your shooters kind of being able, I think he can get some open shots starting inside out. So I definitely agree with you. I like that Sengun. Man, besides Sengun, man, I'm looking honestly, man. I'm looking at Jalen Williams, man. I feel like he's made that jump last year. He made his jump this year, and he's always made that. He's the second option, but it's kind of like this year is the 2 year ago Jaylen Brown on the Celtics, right? Like, where it's like, hey, I need you to really just take over some of these games, giving Shea, because now that it's a new season. Defenses are going to play Shea different. It's just going to be different. Not saying Shea ain't going to get his 29-30. But I'm saying it's just going to be a different, I feel like, a focal point to where now Shea's going to have to rely on his teammates a little bit more this year. It's harder that second year as champs. Teams are playing at you a little tougher. They're coming at you, and so I do think that with Jalen Williams, if he makes this another leap. I think that again, like we mentioned, man, that the OKC they'll be just fine. But I think the matchup, I really don't see nobody over on. I mean, and the thing is, the Rockets do got some bodies for him to, as far as guarding. But if he can give you that 22 to 25 range with Shea, man, they're tough to beat. But if he's not really putting up the points, then that relies on them role players, man. And so. And that's fine. That's how OKC plays on defense as well. I know they get down and gritty on defense, but I'm looking at Jalen Williams this year, not only this game, but this year to make that jump. I'm looking for him to make that all-star jump as well. So I'm be excited to see how this game definitely goes. I got OKC winning by 10. I got them winning by 10, under 100 points. All right, man. Hey, man, that next game, we got our boys. Lakers, Warriors. It's at Crypto. Man, I got Lakers on this. I think Lakers were a little too big for Golden State. What are you looking for? What's the expectation on this game? What you looking to see?
I'm looking to see Luka have a statement game, like a coming out party.
Yeah.
I feel like just how last season ended for Luka and all the things that were said about him coming out of the Mavericks camp, Nico Harrison especially, and then just the Lakers' unceremonious exit in the playoffs. Like the Timberwolves are constantly headhunting after Luka, and then like the reports coming out about his weight, and now Luka's slimmed down. In the tournament, he's averaging over 30. He's playing defense. He's taking charges. He's screaming again. Like, I'm ready to see Luka like bring that intensity back to the NBA, and I think there's a fire lit under him.
Man, I think so too, man. I'm excited to see how he comes out. Definitely, and you said it right. You know, a statement game. I think he's going to come out ready to go. I think it was kind of embarrassment a little bit for him, even though, man, the dude averaged 26. You know, that's crazy to think he averaged that at, you know, just maybe the trade, the weight, you know. So with a full off season and getting in shape, it is going to be scary hours. I really would like to see the Lakers use their size. I hope they don't get too complacent in trying to match the threes that Golden State, I think, will try to, you know, play fast and shoot the threes. I hope the Lakers just stick to, you know, their two-man game and pound it inside. Use their size that they do have compared to the Warriors. They have size. So I know we mentioned last week, you know, we would like another big over there, but you know this matchup, I definitely think, you know, LeBron, you know, being able to get to the bucket should be Luka as well. They should be able to get to that bucket without, you know, too much trouble. Is there a player that well, I know you mentioned Luka. Anybody else besides Luka that you know, you got your eye on the Warriors? Let's start with the Warriors. Who's on the Warriors that you got your eye on?
Um, Honestly, I think I would say Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, there was practically an APB out for Jimmy in that series against Minnesota. Like Warriors fans and basketball fans in general were just they were wanting Jimmy to buy Golden State a game to get Steph back. And
Yep.
like within those last couple games, Jimmy's coming up short. Like, and it's not even that he's shooting shots and missing. Jimmy's not even looking at the basket.
He wasn't even
So
looking.
I'm wondering how like he's going to come out in this season. Like, how's he going to approach the game? Is he going to attack first, or is it all right? Let Steph get his, and I'll just get whatever's left.
No, I agree. No, totally agree. I kind of look at him that same way as I mentioned with OKC, like the Jalen Williams, like really setting the bar at that second option, taking that second option role. I know he knows he's quote unquote he called himself Batman or Robin, and you know the Steph being Batman, but it's like you're right. Like in that Minnesota, it's like, bro, you wasn't Robin, bro. We was looking for you. I don't know if he was injured from that back a little bit or the tailbone injury he had, but you're right, bro. He didn't even look to score. He was not aggressive. It was just no free throw attempts. It was just, I don't know, man. I don't know if they also kind of with internal just said, you know, without Steph, it's just let's just wrap it up and get healthy for next year. I don't know if that was the mindset, but I agree with you. That's a good pick. That's a good pick with Jimmy, man. I'm looking at Jimmy too. I'm also looking at maybe you know that bench. I'm not even one player for Golden State this year. Like their depth, they're gonna definitely they need that depth. They need Buddy Hield. They need that depth to really come in and really bring that bench mob for them to have a run this year, in my opinion, just because the West is so deep. The West is only getting better. They're getting younger. They're more athletic. So I do think it's going to be a collective unit for Golden State to be able to, you know, really squeeze and make a run and not really fight for a play-in spot, but kind of solidify that sixth seed and up. It's going to be tough, but it's going to take. It's definitely Kerr's going to have to play 10 guys, you know, I feel like to really make it work as far as scoring goes, because after Steph and Jimmy, it does just it gets a little shaky. I mean, you got Pozinski, you got Hield, but you know, I feel like these guys, not so much Pozinski, but more so Moody and Hield and Peyton. Those guys ain't really looking to create that shot like that. So I think this year they need to, though. I think they got to look to score the ball, because one thing that Golden State I feel like goes unnoticed a little bit is, man, they lock up. I feel like they're a pretty good defensive team. You know, that keeps them in the games. It's just that they lack that scoring outside of Steph, you know, being able, and Jimmy, you know, when he wants to score. And then, you know, is Draymond going to look to score this year? You know, how's his game looking? You know, is he improving, you know, knockdown shooting and, you know, that type of deal? So it's going to take a lot for them to, I do feel like, match the Lakers scoring in that regard. But, man, as far as switching to the Lakers, man, I'm looking at Bron. I'm looking to see what Bron. I mean, I'm just seeing how he's coming out, how his mindset's about to be. I know we talked a little bit about last week. Just the summer, maybe the slight disrespect. So I want to just see how he comes out. Does he come out with a King James, don't y'all forget, I'm still him, or is it just, hey, is it deferment to Luca? Is it kind of that passive aggressive kind of little tactics he usually, he's good at doing? So I'm excited to see how he does. I think he's a mismatch for Golden State. I mean, Draymond can only do so much. Besides, I think their best bet is put Jimmy on him. But yeah, if LeBron can kind of take that little load after Luca gets his off, I think they're tough to beat. So I'm excited for that game. I'm probably more excited for that game than the first game. Just being honest. So that'll be cool. Before I keep going, man, about a couple other key games that week, I wanted to go over. I wanted to kind of do like a pre-award, especially before the season starts. Uh, who do you have? Who do you got winning MVP this year?
Luka Doncic.
You got Luca winning MVP. Man, I got ooh, man, that's a good one. Man, I do think it will come down to Luca. I mean, you said Luca.
Yep.
I'm probably gonna go Shea again. I'm gonna go Shea Gill just for a second. I'm gonna say he's gonna grab that. Uh, if they get that top record, it's gonna be tough. I feel like for Luca to get it, they're gonna definitely have to be a top three seed, or if not, number one with the best record in NBA. Even if he has better numbers, I think he's gonna have to trump that team record for him to grab it. But no, that's a good pickup. I see Shea, Jokic, Luca. I can see them top three in the MVP voting. Uh, we can't sleep on the Joker grabbing that fourth MVP. Um, his team got better, so it's just going. That's going to be something to keep an eye out. What about who you got as defensive player of the year this coming up here?
Hmm, I'm trying to think of the. Actually, no, this one's very easy. Victor Wembanyama. Because
Ooh,
barring he stay healthy, I think Wemby will be defensive player of the year easily. He was
I
en
got.
route to take defensive player of the year this year before he
Yeah,
got his blood clots.
I agree. I agree. I agree with you on that. And if I had to pick a runner up, if something doesn't go right, or he's not healthy, or just doesn't get it, man, I'm going back to Evan Mobley, man. Evan Mobley he's a dog down there, man. I feel like if they have a top record in the East, um, he'll be right in there. Um, I think Rudy Gobert's days are gone on that award. I don't think he'll be in that mix anymore. I think that he's out of there. Um, no, that's a good one though, Victor. That's a good one, man. We both agree on that one. What about Rookie of the Year coming in? Who you got?
I think the obvious answer most people would say would be Cooper Flag. I'm actually going to roll with VJ Edgecombe for the 76ers.
Dang, I'm with you,
Um,
boy. Yeah,
I like his
yeah,
play style. I like his intensity. I like his mindset, and I think he's bringing that into a Philly team that needs like that sort of like grinded out, gritty type of guy. He kind of reminds me of Anthony Edwards in the way he
yeah.
carries himself and like just his hard work. Um, but I think VJ, especially with the Sixers needing some more like young guard play
Yeah.
alongside Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey, I think that'll go a long way. I think VJ's prime to surprise some people.
Man, that's a no, no, no. That's a definitely a good that's definitely a good pickup, man. He got a little Jimmy Butler to him too. No, no, for sure. Um, dang, that's a good one, man. The obvious, I'm greening with you, is the Cooper Flag. If I have to, pick the curveball, I'm gonna go Dylan Harper as well. If the Spurs is playing well. If they're a top four team in the West, I feel like winning's going to get these guys that type of chance of getting the award. So I that's my sleeper, man. I think he's a good. He's got a little James Harden type of little finesse game to him. Oh, younger James Harden, being that lefty. I want to see how him and Castle play together. They got a lot of guards over there in San Antonio, but I feel like if they incorporate him right, pick and roll, put him at that point guard after De'Aaron Fox, I do feel like that's definitely going to give him some clock, man, and just that organization in general. They're good at producing. They're good at producing those rookies. Having rookie of the years over there, man. So, man, if you think about it, man, they got David Robinsons, you got Tim Duncans, you got now you got Victor, you got Stephon Castle. Man, rookie of the year screams on their organization. So that's my sleeper for rookie of the year for sure. Let's see who we got. Who we got next, man? We got sixth man of the year. What you thinking?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think around the league and see who could actually win sixth man of the year. I'm not sure. I'm not sure with that one.
I got you. I'm gonna throw just a name out there that I think will come off the bench. Uh, Man, I know, and it's hard for them to give somebody nowadays the two-time, multiple six mans. But I feel like, man, Nas Reed. I feel like if again team success, uh, if he's coming off the bench, I really feel like he should have got it last year instead of the year before instead of Pritchard. But I mean, it is what it is. He had better numbers, but I know they gave it to the record. But that's just my curveball, man. I'm gonna go Nas. I think Nas is coming out with a different hunger. Unfortunately, he lost his sister in the summertime a few months ago. There's only two ways he can go. It's either up or that's the only way he can go is up. So I feel like he's gonna be if he's on his stuff and he's out there on just look out. Just look out for a player like that, man. To really lock in is what I'm trying to hint at. And then I don't know if these players are going to come off the bench, but you got Malcolm Brogdon. He did sign with the Knicks. You got even Jordan Clarkson signed with the Knicks. Like those little players like that, we definitely got to keep an eye on, especially off of teams that I feel like are going to be in the top three in their conference. That's kind of, I guess, where my mind goes as far as kind of how the NBA delivers the awards. I don't really see. I don't know. Oh, I mean, keep an eye out on Lonzo Ball being with the Cavs this year. If he's coming off the bench and stays healthy.
Yeah, that's one I would keep an eye on. Lonzo.
Yeah.
I think
Lonzo.
Lonzo has a good chance in Cleveland to take on the role he first assumed when he got to Chicago and being like
Facts.
the initiator off the bench. I think this could be a year where we see Lonzo average somewhere around like 6 or 7 assists with a cool 10 to 12 points. And especially if the Cavs are winning, I could see Lonzo being crowned sixth man of the year.
Me too. Yeah. I like that. I like that. Me too, man. All right, man. Switching. What you think about most improved? Who you got? Who you think's gonna make that jump?
Hmm. I think there's two players, and they're both
Ooh,
on the same team.
who you got?
Paolo Banchero and Desmond Bain. I
Yeah.
think the addition of Desmond Bain adds much needed shooting for Orlando because Orlando was one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league last year. I feel like having that shooting opens it up for Paolo Banchero to work his game in the middle of the floor and then getting downhill to the rack and putting pressure on the defense. But him putting pressure on the defense will also benefit Desmond Bain because it'll eventually get to a point where you have to collapse on Paolo or swarm him to get the ball out of his hands. And now, like, you can set a back screen for
Right.
Desmond, have him run off flare screens, and he's getting looks at threes.
Man, no, you absolutely right, boy. I forgot about Pablo. I think he's gonna make a. I do think he's gonna make a jump for sure. Yeah, I think he's 1-on-1 for sure. Um, man, I like that pick too. I do. If I had to pick somebody else, I'm looking at man. Man, I guess I'm gonna throw old buddy in there. Who Thompson, the Rockets, Amon Thompson. I think this year, if he can, I think this is a jump year for him. I think scoring, well, you know what he can do on the defensive side. One of the most athletics in the league. It stays healthy. He definitely, and if they got him running that point, that's actually, I thought about it too. Like him off the ball is those, cut in, back cuts type of plays, oops, that type of deal. That's kind of how they used them in the dunker spot more so, and being, a defender. I think the defense stays the same. I do think he goes guards the best players, but I think this year he'll make the jump in being more of a scorer slash facilitator. That hopefully will incorporate some wins for the Rockets, and getting those other players involved and just help his numbers up. I think he makes a jump in his scoring this year, especially with Jalen Green being traded at that 2 and that 1 spot. So no, man, that's a good pick. I like Pablo though, man. I think he fits that mold. He already averaged about 24, 25. So yeah, he's probably gonna jump up for sure this year, man. Desmond Bain, like you mentioned, it's gonna open up for him big time, big time. Hey man, who you got coach of the year?
Mm, I could see JJ Redick winning Coach of the Year.
Ooh, we.
And it'll completely hinge upon Luca, LeBron, AR, and how they mesh with DeAndre Ayton, and of course, like the rest of the cast coming back. I think if the Lakers approach the beginning of the season correct, they could finish with that 1 or 2 seed. They were in the running for the 2 seed last year up until the
Yeah.
last couple weeks of the season, or they had a loss to Utah, and it
Mm.
put them behind Houston for winning or taking the 2nd seed, and they ended up falling to the 3 seed. But I think there was some good momentum at the end of the year, and especially with Luca coming back in better shape and with a different mentality. I think this is a year where the Lakers could make a push for that 1 or 2.
No, I like that. I like that. Uh, I'm gonna throw one out there, man. I'm gonna throw the coach for the Spurs, Mitch Johnson. If the Spurs can be a top 4 team in the West, shoot, if they can be a top 6, yeah, top five and up. Um, you know, they didn't even, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't even make the play in last year. So I do feel like if they can jump up in that and not be a play-in team this year, you got your team healthy. You got Victor being a defensive player candidate. I mean, I'm not even going to sleep on that. He won't be an MVP candidate depending on their team success. That's just how high his upside is. Yeah, I'm gonna throw a little curveball out there and put San Antonio Mitch Johnson out there, man. See if he can get that Spurs going back. The pop. Go up the trajectory. How it's always been. Being a Laker fan, man, some of our toughest battles has been through the Spurs. So we know they got something brewing. You can't, take your foot off the gas on a team or organization like that. So I do think they got all the pieces and they got everything to me to, kind of make a run in that and give teams some problems for sure, man. So no, I like that for JJ though, and I hope JJ get it because if he get it, that means the Lakers is winning. So I hope he does. They signed him for that 2 year, so I hope a 2 year extended. So he's there for the next 5 years. So man, he better get it once out of them 5 years. You know how the league is going, man. They'll let you go quick if you ain't producing. So no, that'll be cool to see, man, and see how that goes. All right, man. It's just prediction. Who you got as the 2026 Finals MVP?
Hmm. I think the champion will come out of the West.
Okay.
Um, I think it'll be one of three people: Shea, the Joker, or Luca.
Mm, I like those three. Nope, can't even argue that. Nope, I like that. I like that. No, I like that. I'm going Shea. I'm just good, but I like those three. I think it's gonna be one of those three for sure. I got Shea coming out of that. Off healthy too. Like everything has to go right. Got to be healthy for them. I like that. That's a good pickup. I like that. Uh, this is an off one. 2026 All Star MVP. Who's going out there making a name? Who's going out there letting it be known?
Hmm.
It's in LA this year.
Hmm.
Sound like you want to go
Wimby.
Luca. Oh, and I heard they switching up that
I wanted
format.
to go Luca. Yeah, I think this year is a Team USA versus World, if I remember correctly,
Yeah.
kind of format. I might be wrong, but I can see Wimby winning All Star Game MVP. Just because it's real easy to get Wimby the ball, especially being 7'4", being able to stretch the floor, but also like Wimby blocks a ton of shots.
Right.
And in the All Star Game, stats really make whether or not you win the MVP.
Yeah.
So I can see Wimby winning that.
I like that one. I'm gonna throw one. I'll throw Giannis out there. I'll throw Giannis grabbing it this year. Uh, think he's just got a lot to prove. I think, and to your point, even about Victor, guys like those that you don't really have to do much for them to play. They play to play. Like I feel like they don't really take it off the gas. They're really not out there horse playing or in that little vibe as quote unquote the All Star games have kind of been. I even noticed that with Wimby the last time he did play. Like he seemed like he was out there. He was really getting down. I feel like so. No, I like that pick with Victor. And then man, shoot, it may be one of them as far as if they're on the same team on the world. So that'll be exciting to see how that goes. Man, no, that's cool right there, man. Uh, that's it. That's it right there, man. We got this recorded, so man, we'll be able to come back and reflect and see how close we were on that, man. That'll be cool. Uh, Jumping back into that week one schedule, man, we're gonna go to you got Cleveland and the Knicks. Uh, man, playoff series. This kind of usually goes down to the wire. It's always a good series, good matchup. Uh, how you feel about this, man? Who you got? Who you got winning this game? It's in the Garden. Who you got?
I'm gonna roll with the Knicks. I think the Knicks are a better unit offensively. I think them adding Jordan Clarkson brings in some more scoring off the bench. Uh, Jordan Clarkson, he's one of those guys. He'll get on a heater real quick, and he'll give you somewhere between 25 to the 27 range when he's on that heater. And I think the Knicks desperately needed bench scoring this past year because you can see Tom Thibodeau running his guys into the ground and like
For
Jalen
sure.
Brunson, Josh Hart, Bridges, OG, Cat. They're playing 35, 40, 45 minutes. And I think adding Jordan gives it another element to where now not only you're adding a scorer, but this is a guy who can play, and Jalen can sit, and then come fourth quarter, Jalen's ready to play.
Mm, I do like that. No, I do like that. I do think Thib ran him to the ground. I do. I think all of that. I do. I even think they needed a new voice. I agree. Um, I'm actually gonna go on the Cavs. I got the Cavs upsetting them in the Garden, and the reason why I feel like is because of probably that exact reason. I feel like it's gonna take New York a little bit with Mike Brown just to get acclimated, get used to his style. As far as the way he coaches. I think the Knicks, to me, I think with a new voice in there, it's gonna have to be a reality check that um, they Thibodeau ran the show, but I also feel like the players. There's a lot of pressure this year. The Knicks are gonna have to really be that 1-2 seed, make it to the finals by with getting Thibs out of there and reaching the finals. Man, it has to be a whole new hunger out there on the court with those players, man. Like it's gonna have to be a different show. It's gonna have to be able to show, hey, this style is what we needed, or this type of X's and O's and coaching and subbing is what we needed. I feel like the Knicks sometimes, to me, can come off a little. Um, they know it all rather than being coached. Thibs was tough on him. He ran him down. I agree, but he was a hard coach. And these NBA players, man, they need that. In my opinion, they need that. They need that old school coaching. Mike Brown is gonna give him that, but Mike Brown, I feel like everywhere he's went as a new coach, it takes him a little second to get going. I've never really seen him start out 5-0. If anything, I see him come out 0-5. So I want to see the Knicks be coachable and listen to Mike Brown, even though compared to having hey, we reached the finals, we know what we're doing, we just needed somebody to come in here and kind of listen to us and let us tell them, rather than a coach that's won a ring, been to multiple finals, being able to really listen to that philosophy rather than I think starting out they may still be hey, we know what we're doing. We got to the finals, or we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'll kind of go a step further. I do feel like Karl Anthony Towns does not. To me, he can't match up with Mobley. I feel like Mobley's on a tear this year. Mobley's just a better athlete, physique. I just feel like he's young. He's younger. So I like that matchup, one, but I also just think like if him and Donovan Mitchell, and we're not even talking about Garland, like if him and Donovan Mitchell, man, are on, it's going to be definitely a close game. But I definitely think the Cavs can pull it out. I think the Cavs are a better road team than they are a home team. They're coming off the best record in NBA. I think they got a sour taste in their mouth. I feel like it was just that wasn't a successful season to me for them last year. It's almost like you did all that work, and it just like I don't know, man. It did. You don't do all that work during the regular season to get the 1 seed to kind of And if I ain't mistaken, man, was Indiana was a 4. I think that, man, they only won 1 game against them, man. It's just bad, man. And I know Garland wasn't there, but that's where I see Lonzo coming in and being able to really help that bench out. So no, that's gonna be a good game, man. I think it's a good game to start out in the East for sure. It'd be good to see, man. I want to see what. Oh, and then on top of, I don't know what the lineup is for New York. Do they go big? You start Mitchell Robinson, or are you gonna go small and go Josh Hart? Does that stir up a little I don't know. Josh Hart, I've seen on reports, doesn't care, but you never know, man, with these players, man. I feel like the Cavs know exactly. They know they're 5. They know what it is. They know what time it is. So it's going to be cool to see how Mike Brown does go, if he goes big with Mitchell or goes small with Josh Hart. What you think he should do?
I think you gotta go big with Mitchell Robinson,
Me too.
especially in the Cavs matchup.
Yeah.
Have Mitch pair up against Jared Allen, and then have
Yeah.
Cat's matchup be Evan Mobley. Just because Cat and Evan Mobley are kind of like the same style of player, like they can uh, go out and stretch the floor, shoot the 3 ball. They do like to play face up, but they can also like play with their back to the basket, get toward the
Right.
rim, generate
Right.
some easy buckets. And then Mitch and Jared Allen are kind of the same type of player, like inside buckets, rebounds, solid rim protection.
Yep. I no, totally agree. You gotta go. You definitely gotta go big. I agree with that, man. Man, later on that second game that night, man, ESPN game, they got the Spurs and the Mavericks. Uh, that's gonna be a good game, man. I think the Mavericks. I know they're out without Kyrie, man. I think they just go a little unnoticed with their depth that they still do have. What do you got in that game, man?
I'm gonna say San Antonio. I think this will be a showcase for San Antonio's like the 1-2 of De'Aaron Fox's speed, but
Mm,
also Wemby's size and his ability to do multiple things on the floor, like playing great help defense, forcing guys like to second guess or reconsider a shot. His rebounding, also his ability to stretch the floor, and then guys like Stephon Castle can get going. And I think this will be a good test of like what the Spurs can be because the Mavericks have so many good defensive bigs. I feel like
right.
this is a good test for Wemby, and then by extension, the San Antonio Spurs.
I agree with you, man. I got the Spurs on that too. I think my pick would be a little different if Kyrie was playing, but I think Fox, like you mentioned, he's going to show that speed against uh, who they got over there with the Mavs, man. At the point, you got uh, man, who's going to run the point actually over there without Kyrie, man? I mean, I know Cooper probably could run the point a little bit for him. They still got Dante Exum. You know, he'll have his day with him. Jaden Hardy probably will be your best bet matching a little speed with Fox. But no, oh, they got D'Angelo Russell. That's probably who will start. That's who will start for the Mavs. Uh, so you got the Mavs. You got Cooper. You got AD playing. You still got Najee Marshall. You got Gafford, like you mentioned, PJ. Clay over there. Clay Thompson still over there. You know, can't forget the other half splash brother. Man, I'm gonna go Spurs with you. I'm gonna pick the Spurs. I think the Spurs gonna come out. I think they got a little bit more total scoring and defense over there. Uh, we can't forget about AD though, man. I don't know if he's coming in healthy with the eye. I don't know, but he definitely makes a difference. In any team he's on, and so we can't let that go unnoticed. But without Kyrie, AD, it's just like more. It's just different. The pick and roll ain't the same. In other words, So, yeah, I definitely got the Spurs coming out of that one, man. That's a good pick right there, man. Who else we got going on here? All right, all right, man. Later on that week, we got OKC and the Pacers. Uh, that's in Indiana. I think we're both on the same page. I think OKC pulls that out. Without Halliburton, it's gonna be tough for Indiana, man. It's tough. I think it's gonna be some growing pains, but also some players that can also just get that clock, man, get their name, get that experience going over there. It'll definitely be that time for them to do that. I think though, man, we didn't mention this either though, as far as most improved, Nimard, with the way he played in the playoffs. That's a good candidate to look out for as far as making that leap. Uh, is there? We both got OKC in there, man. But is there anybody in that matchup that you're looking at, like saying, hey, he can make in this matchup? Can he make that on Indiana? Anybody on Indiana that can kind of make this difference and make this game change? You see?
I hate guys like him because he's always a pest. But T.J.
Yeah.
McConnell,
Oh
I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
T.J. McConnell is like he just messes the whole game up.
He do, he
Like
do.
being a pest, like he's pestering your guards.
Yeah.
He'll hang around like on an inbounds to see if he can catch you slipping, get a steal, get a quick bucket. Um,
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen him miss that little 10, 12 foot mid range jump shot.
That boy Mitty
He's
old, ain't it? Yeah.
a solid facilitator. He can get them into their offense. They're comfortable with him running the offense. Um, and he's one of those guys like, don't let him see a three go in because then it lets him know, like, okay, this is really his kind of day.
For sure. No, for sure. And without Halliburton being there, with a team like this, with Nimhard, with Benedict, with McConnell, those type of Ben Shepherd, can't forget about him. Aaron Naismith, he's Isaiah Johnson, he coming back. The teams like that to me, since they ain't got nobody that's really creating, getting their buckets. They play that team Princeton style basketball, swinging, cutting. It's just different to guard. Now, if anybody can guard it, it's OKC, just being one of the top top 2, 3 defensive teams in the league. But as far as keeping Indiana in the game, keeping it a series, they do fight. They do play hard. Rick Carlisle is a great coach. Man, I mean, with Halliburton and maybe if they had a fully healthy team, I'm looking at him for coach of the year. I felt like he was coach of the playoffs. I just think he's
Oh yeah.
just great. Yeah, he's just great at adjustments, man, and X's and O's, man. Just I know he doesn't go unnoticed, but it just feels like he does, man. And no, man, he's a big reason why I feel like they even got to the finals, man. Just the way he coaches and plays those guys, and I think he rewards guys that play hard too. Obi Toppin, he'll be somebody that needs to make a jump this year for them to be successful as well. Being a two-way, being able to play big, but also being able to be a knockdown shooter. You don't have to necessarily have to create all the time like he tries to, but kind of he needs, like in my opinion, for him, he needs to turn into like an Aaron Gordon, and his play
Yeah.
style, like just in that dunker spot, being a spot up, rebound, run. Like if he can kind of grab that, I think he'll make it definitely a leap. In his numbers and just their team success too, because they're going to need everybody to buy in with Halliburton being out and create for others and make up for those assists that Halliburton is able to create. Um, all right, man. Hey, next game on that night, man, you got Denver and Golden State. Uh, Man, I got Denver on that game. Who you got?
I got Denver. I don't think it's gonna be close.
Me either. No, me either. Me either. I mean, in other words, too much. Is it too much Denver or is it too much Joker?
I feel like it's too much Jokic.
Man, me too.
Golden State doesn't have the adequate size to guard Jokic. Draymond is too small. Al is too old, but Al is also a bit smaller than Jokic. I think the addition of Cam Johnson, a 3-and-D wing, to go along with them getting Bruce Brown back to play alongside Jamal Murray, and then you have a healthy Aaron Gordon. I just don't see how the Warriors match up with the
Yeah.
Nuggets. Trying out that lineup.
No, I'm with you on that. And not to mention, man, people forget this dude that the Nuggets picked up, Tim Hardaway Jr. I'm like, boy, hey, that dude when he get going, he can let it go too. So, man, they're loaded over there, man. I'm with you on that. I don't think it'll be close either. Um, I've often wondered why Golden State never gets bigs, and I just don't understand why. Like their philosophy. Can Kerr not really? Does he really not like bigs? Is that he can't adjust play style and coaching? Like I don't get it, man. The West is too big. Like, dude, not Draymond Green though at the 5, bro. That's old. That's over with.
I think the thing is, though, during that era where Golden State was rattling off championships, they just had so much firepower that having a big didn't really matter and it didn't really hurt them.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
true. That's
then
true.
with Clay not being the same player, and then KD leaving, and then Steph dealing with injuries, like, and the league has changed now to where you need bigs, and you need bigs to be able to do multiple things.
Right.
Golden State's need for a big has become more of a detriment to the team than it was from like 2015
Right.
into 2020.
Nope. No, I totally agree. So it's like more so they need to adjust to the new times. Like they're not top heavy anymore. No, I got you on that. I got you on that, man. Uh, Man, I seen that there was and just looking through, man. That Kawhi Leonard situation, man. Do you know about that? Have you followed that a little bit?
I've heard a bit about it. I've seen that if that because there would be an investigation into it, Paul George would return to OKC. Um, Shea would go back to the Clippers, and then I'm pretty sure Kawhi would be a free agent, and then picks would get moved around again, which I feel like that would be such a
That's
sticky situation.
yes, definitely. No, 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 definitely, man. Yeah, man, that little situation was weird. It's all over the place, man, too. And I heard the same thing with those picks and everything, and Shea, and it's just like, and this is just my opinion. I think the Clippers are just a team that probably got caught, whatever they're doing. But I think the NBA, I think they all do it. If anything, man, I don't think anything that the ownership or the team did is anything shocking. I think it's just a loophole within the salary cap and the collective bargaining that takes a while to catch on until somebody gets caught. But then it's like, oh, now they know what to look for going towards their next collective bargaining agreement too. So, no, man, I think that stuff will pass over. I don't think it's gonna really be a detriment to their team or anything like that. It's still just been out there in the news, man, and they're just all over the place when it does come to that. Something else I wanted to ask you about was the Kaminga situation, man. Do you how you see that playing out, man? Do you see Kaminga taking that qualifying offer, or does he take one of the deals the Golden State has out there?
I don't think he'll take the deal with Golden State. I think it's just been too much done to where he feels like he's been underutilized, and like it hit his pride a bit. Like for a lot of guys, when your pride get hit, you want to go out and show that you can still play and like you still got it.
That's a fact.
And that it was just the situation you were in. So I don't see any situation where Kaminga himself would want to return into a Warriors uniform.
If you're Kaminga, right? Where would you want to go? Like, what's a team you feel like that can allow you to be spread your wings a little bit, show your just kind of get off. You know what I'm saying? Being able to start fresh. What's a good spot for him? Not that where he wants to go, but like where you say, hey, plug him over there, he'll be all right.
I could see him being good in Sacramento or Orlando. I think Orlando has such a young nucleus of guys. You add Kaminga, like another hyper athletic guy, to go alongside. Like Orlando's a really good defensive team. Pair him alongside Paolo. This is a guy who he'll play good defense. He can take some of the defensive pressure off Paolo. Maybe you can have him guard the number one guy on the other team for a little bit. But then he'll also give you like somewhere from 10 to 15 on offense. And he's like, when he's motivated, he's high energy, high motor. He can sometimes be out of control. But I think him being with such another like group of young guys will be good for his development.
No, I like that. I like that. You know, a team I'd like to see him go for. And this is just me. I'm trading him head up for Austin Reeves. I'm putting it over there with the Lakes show, and the reason why I want him with the Lakes is we haven't had a small forward athletic wing. I don't know. We haven't had that in a while. Matching with the way the West is, that's what we need. We need some athletic wings, and we also, to Kaminga's point, go out there and guard. We know LeBron is not LeBron James to be able to guard like that. Luka, he's not. That's not his repertoire. So then I'm just thinking like, all right, that's what left Austin Reeves to have to start guard Anthony Edwards, and it's just like that ain't it either. So I feel like if the Lakers could, and let me say this, you can pay Kaminga less than what Austin Reeves is looking for. So it's like if the Lakers could, man, if they could get off Reeves, man, and Reeves fits their style, Golden State style. He fits that play style. So I would, in a fantasy, I would like to see that. That'd be good for both players. I feel like, and I do think you're right. I do think Kaminga can't. I don't think he can come back to that Golden State, man. I don't even think, and I don't even think Draymond plays that stuff. Dude like him in the locker room, man, that's so, I feel like is in a warrior type of, no point intended, but like hey, you either in or out. Like this is the game. This is it. If you're not part of that, I feel like that's just what's gonna rub everything off wrong. Because if you're not invested, if you're not really in tune to really potentially be in a championship contending team, which what the Warriors is doing, They're on the back end. They ain't wasting no time. They angry, cranky old men, in a way, man. So they're not in there for that. They got their money. They did their contract. I do think they respect Kaminga in doing what he's doing, but at the same time, you ain't signed now or take one of the deals. It's almost like, hey, appreciate you. We got a ring with you. Take what we taught you. Take what you did learn, and take that to, like you mentioned, even a younger team like Orlando, bringing that experience, or putting them on a veteran team that can use him as a starter of a Sacramento. I agree with that. Sacramento also needs to go young. If you got Levine and DeRozan right there, I do feel like they need a little something on the wing as well too. I do agree with you on that though. What about what you think? Is there a player this year that you can see that's leaving? Is there somebody that's getting traded that's gone? Is there an NBA shakeup trade that happens this year?
This will be odd, but depending on how Jalen Brown performs this year, when Jason Tatum returns, I can see if he performs poorly, I can see Jalen Brown getting traded.
Mm,
I think this is a year where they expect Jalen Brown to like take a leap, especially with him being one of the highest paid players in basketball. Um, if he goes out there and he struggles because now teams can focus in on him,
right.
that'll be a reason like, okay, we can trade him for compensation and get like multiple good players or picks to put players around Jason when he comes back. Because that Celtics team from last year, we're never going to see that iteration of that Celtics team again. So if Jalen performs poorly, he becomes a trade asset.
Right. No, no, totally agree. Totally agree. And just like I feel like just like the way the NBA and the money's going, teams are definitely going to be more strategic with their money for sure, man. But you know what? Because that is such a good topic and discussion with the upcoming season and players, man, what I think we're going to do is we're going to save the, we're going to, I got some players in mind too, but we're going to save that for next week. We going to really, we're going to chip at this, man, and really dive into news that comes out, as well as like we just ended. We're gonna really kick off like, hey, after what we've seen these last couple of weeks, does Giannis feel away? Does Jalen Brown feel away? Is there news that happens? Does injuries happen? So no, we're gonna kick that back off next week as far as players that we see staying, signing, extension eligible. Players that maybe we feel should be looking to move. So man, next week, man, we'll definitely give our viewers a good in depth outlook on the players, and reactions from media days, and getting that out the way. Marcus, man, as usual, man, I appreciate you joining this, man. Without you, man, this NBA edition ain't going, man. So we appreciate you on board. For all the viewers out there, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in with us. Can't do this without y'all. Again, if you got Apple Podcasts, if you got Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, we are out there on all platforms. Please like, subscribe, share this. And man, again, man, we appreciate all y'all. Hey, yes, sir, we ready for these Lakers to turn up, man. We need another banner up there. Man, hey, and man, again, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk to y'all later.